Hi everyone, Sue Matsuki here for Nightlife Exchange again with another Sue's Muse. Today I have a dear friend who I adore. I have known him. I'll tell you how I know this. I've known you for about 15, 16 years at this point. Please welcome Diva LaMarr. Thank you so much for joining us, Diva. You look great. Where are you? Are you in a restaurant or where?
I am in a restaurant called Just Salad, so it's a little noisy. They're making some smoothies. It's not just salad.
I can't hear
There's,
anything. No, it's good. It's good.
oh, perfect, good.
Good. Good.
Also, my pronouns are they, them, or she, her. So
Okay,
feel
great.
free
Thank
to,
you. Thank you for
um,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It's
How
uh
are you? It's so good to see you.
It's great to see you. Now, I'll tell you why I know it's been 15 or 16 years because today on Facebook, it popped up. 15 years ago, you had written, and what I wrote was, I can't wait to go to tonight's MetroStar competition to see the top
Ooh,
10. And
my
I
goodness.
remember you saying, "You are my sunshine," and it blew me away. So I know that it's been like 15, 16 years that I've known you because I met you a little bit before you went into that competition.
Yeah.
Tell me a little bit about what you've been doing. You have segued from cabaret person to more theater, musical theater, and you're doing a lot of shows out of town. Tell me a little bit about what you've been up to.
Well, I'll tell you this. When I first moved to New York back in 2014, my goal was Broadway. And I found a home in Cabaret because I learned that I could be me on that stage. And now I'm finding that roles are more open to interpretation. You see people like Jay Harrison on Broadway. You see people like Alex Newell on Broadway. You see things happening downtown, like this new Cats ballroom. And so regionally, a lot of people are have these visions that that identify. I identify as non-binary,
Mhm.
and so I'm finding that I've played many masculine roles in my day. Jimmy Early, uh, and Dreamgirls.
The
I've been in.
Reba. I remember the
Yeah,
Reba.
yeah. And I toured with Jersey Boys. I did that, but now I identify as non-binary, and I am and trying to find my way in this world. And luckily, I am at the point where last year I was doing uh, Little Shop in Little Rock, Arkansas. I went to the audition. The casting director stepped outside and said, "Listen, they want to do this whole new thing with the plant. They want the plant to be a physical person on stage. They don't want to use a puppet." Um, and so it turned into this beautiful reimagining of the plant. And I had a makeup artist who designed my makeup. You can call it drag because it was very drag, but it was also just a celebration of queerness. And so um, I was able to reach out to another theater who had in their season planned Little Shop, and they also planned Cabaret. So at the end of last year, I reached out to PCPA and I said, "Listen, I would love to come and be the plant if y'all are down to have this like reimagining of the plant. Also, the MC has been a dream role of mine. I would love to play that." And things worked out, and I was so
Who would
happy
have
to
thunk
say,
though that, I mean, no shade intended, but who would have thunk that Arkansas would be the place that embraced and welcomed this new vision of the plant? I remembered reading that going, really? That's amazing. And then so that one was kind of pitched to you, and then thereafter you then said, why not? And started to pitch to other places. Walk me
exactly.
through what an audition process is for you now as a non-binary actor, actress. When you walk in, what is your process like? You present as who you are, which is beautiful Diva LaMarr. And what roles do you feel would be a dream role for you to do for the person that you are right now? What are those dream roles?
I'll tell you that I'm at the point in my life where I want something written for me. I want something I'll go back to Jay Harrison, who was on Broadway recently in Some Like It Hot, and in this revamped version of Some Like It, the role was Daphne, and
Mhm.
so they rewritten it for someone who is going through an identity change, someone who is going through gender reassignment, and I really appreciated seeing that. And so, before that was Lola. Lola was a dream role of mine. I played it. I loved it. Um, but so now Jay Harrison is starring in Chicago in the midnight of in the midnight of, oh gosh, the midnight of Garden
The midnight between, I know what you
the
mean.
Garden of Good and Evil.
Good and Evil.
That
Yeah,
one.
it's a great book. It's a
Ooh.
wonderful book. It's set in New Orleans.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And so
Yeah.
she's playing Lady Chablis, and this is a role that is being created by Jay Harrison for Jay Harrison. And that's the kind of thing that I want to be involved in. I want people to think of me when they're creating these new works. Maybe I'll eventually write something of my own, but that's why in Cabaret, I can build my own show. I can be who I want to be. I can redo songs, how they were first done. I can reimagine them for myself. So when you ask that question is I my dream is just to have someone write it for me.
Okay. You hear that out there? Any playwrights, any musical theater people?
Please,
I'm calling on
please.
you.
Yes,
A
because
credible resource here.
yes, because even in these rooms where we created this plant in Arkansas, there was a lot of Diva, bring you to this role.
Yeah.
Do you? And I'm that person who I will do that. You don't have to, I mean, you can direct me, yes, but I will bring you choices. I will give you anything and everything. And that's what I try and do in these audition rooms is, I walk in there as if I've already booked the role. I walk in there as if I am the answer that you're seeking. And if not, then okay, that's okay.
Do you ever
Maybe next
see,
time.
like behind the table, you ever see like a light bulb go off as you're performing? They're like, oh, well, do you ever feel that in the moment of auditioning?
Sometimes I do. Sometimes I just feel good if I make them laugh,
Okay.
if it's that type of a role.
Yeah.
I another role that I went out for earlier this year was uh, Music Theater of Connecticut was doing Legend of Georgia McBride, and I've always wanted to play one of the drag queens in that show. And so, I walked in and did my monologue, and I saw the light bulb, and I was like, okay, cool. Hopefully I booked it, and I
So
booked
let
it.
me ask you,
So
I have this gorgeous photo of you here that I'm going to share.
okay,
This is your version of the MC in your recent production of Cabaret. And this was at the Pacific Conservancy Theater, right?
yes, yeah,
Community theater. Tell me a little bit about this. I mean, at one point, I I saw a clip this morning. This is another thing. I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw a clip of you singing I Don't Care Much. And it literally gave me goose flesh because I was like this. And just that little comma that you would put every now and then before much was stunning to me. And I was like, okay, this is like cabaret theater at its best in terms of how you interpret a lyric. Tell me a little bit about how this character came to be. And I read a little bit about how you did your own subtext about his relationship in relation to Sally. Tell us
right.
about that.
Well, so the director and I had conversations well before rehearsals even started. We had a Zoom audition at first, and it was very important that the role was not masculine. I didn't want to identify as masculine at all. I wanted to be like the matron mother of the Kit Kat Club. I wanted to be someone who left America during that time, during that, late 1930s, left America because America is much like today and it's shitty at times. And so this person wanted to escape all that. This person wanted to travel. This person learned German, learned French, learned so many languages, and they found Weimar Germany. They found this like glorious Renaissance happening, and they planted themselves within this community, and and it was, just gay, fabulous. It was um, queer, and so much music. I thought of like Josephine Baker.
Right.
I thought of,
Well, that's what the character looks like a little bit like to me. It reminds me a little bit of Josephine. Yeah.
and that was the beauty of talking with the director and the costume designer. We all met and we went through the show look by look, and we said, okay, what do we want this to look like? What do we want this to look like? And I pitched my ideas, and baby, that costume designer, her name is Jacqueline Heimel, and the director is Emily Trask, and I appreciate them so much because I felt so beautiful. I felt seen. I felt heard. I
Mhm.
felt like they really gave me what I wanted. I thought of like uh uh oh gosh, I can't think of her name right now. In Bridgerton, but the black woman who has a cane.
Oh, yeah,
Um
yeah.
and so
We
I
all
have
know
this.
who you mean.
Yeah, yes. And so I played it as if like I was this person who dreamed of being in a female body,
Mhm.
and this person who eventually uh grew jealous of Sally Bowles because Sally Bowles was in the body that I wanted to be in. And there's sort of this animosity between DMC and Sally that isn't really defined. But DMC is, I played it as if like she was happy when Sally Bowles was kicked out of the Kickback Club. And MC was like, bye bye, Sally. Take
Yeah, later,
care.
girl.
Later, girl, have fun. And then in Act Two, when I Don't Care Much came about, we talked about how the world was spinning so fast that the lines between the club and real life had blurred.
Mhm.
And so Cliff and Sally have this massive fight because Sally just is not waking up. And Sally is about to make the decision that she's about to go get an abortion. And that's why she sings Cabaret. And so I step into their world. I step into their room in Sally's robe, and I carry the emotion from that previous scene. And that's sort of like where I Don't Care Much stemmed from for
But
me.
you also are deconstructing the MC's femme look to his masculine boy body underneath. And that is a stunning piece to that whole section as well. And where did that come from? Why was that a choice?
Well, for me, if I had if I wish, I'm not someone who is undergoing any transition at the moment, but I almost wished that I was, because I wanted it to land that way, as if, as if someone had top surgery, and you could see their operation marks. I just wanted to play it that way, not as if, sure, yes, I am taking off everything and revealing who I am, but it's not about like revealing the mask part of me. It's just about taking everything off and just saying, I'm here underneath all of this. I'm still a human being who has been beaten by this world, and now even Germany,
The place you
is
thought you were going to for your solace and
yes,
acceptance. Yeah, yeah.
yes, and we wanted to reprise this sort of look at the very end
Mhm.
when I reveal my pajamas underneath, the concentration camp pajamas, and we end with the upside down triangle,
Mhm.
which was for queer people at the
Right,
time.
right.
And so the disrobing, and also I lay down, and also I take off my shoes and I put those down. Those are sort of mimicked at the very end of the show.
Mhm.
And so that's really what it was. It was more of just like, yeah, taking off the makeup, taking off the eyelashes, removing the wig. All of this was a conversation between me and the director, because we just wanted a point of view, other than I think the '98 revival with Alan Cumming just had Alan Cumming come out and drag and sing
Yeah.
the song, which is fine, that's cool. But for me, it was just important to put something else in there. And
Mhm.
then at the very end, we have the Kit-Kat girls coming out and watching their mother pull herself back together for that very much warnings fair. I don't care very much, and it just and so that's really what it was. It was more of just just saying that I'm here underneath it all, and I'm a complex human being
Do you ever
who
think
has.
there's a time where you'd play Sally, where the community would allow Diva to play Sally?
I don't think I would want to play
Okay,
Sally.
that's interesting.
Um, for me, I do not have that reproductive um,
Gotcha,
quality,
gotcha.
and for me, I do not identify as male, and at times I do not identify as female. I just identify as non-binary. So for me, I mean, even playing the MC was like a big deal and a big conversation. Like, can
Mhm.
I play this? Is this something that I should play?
Well, I love the
Uh,
aspect of playing it kind of like the mother of a house, you know. I
yeah,
love that aspect of it
yeah,
because that brings in so much more of the MC's femme side and his
yes.
identifying as a female in
Yeah, and that was very important for me,
beautiful.
to
Yeah,
find me in that. Now, could I find me in Sally? Sure, but I just, again, I don't want to like redefine every role that's out there.
yeah.
I just want to do the ones that are. The MC was on my dream list for since high school. I was supposed to do it in high school, and we canceled the show. Never got to do it. So now it's like, okay, did it. The
So I wanted
plan.
to ask you what's next, but I actually do know what's next. You
Right.
are going up to Maine and you were going to reprise and understudy the role of Little Shop again. Tell me how excited you are about that. You leave soon. I see it. You start rehearsals very soon, I would assume.
Yes, well, we started rehearsals this past Monday. I actually left PCPA early, so they had to find a replacement MC. And so I left that early to come here to start rehearsals, and it's been a joy. And for this one, this is a challenge for me because I am just a standby.
Mhm.
And I don't mean that to downplay what it is I'm doing. It's a very important position. We
Right.
should honor understudies and standbys because they are the backbone
And
of
actually
theater.
very, very valuable in the scheme of things because they can do
Very
several roles at the same time. Yeah.
exactly. And luckily, I'm just doing the one that I've done. So if they need me to go on in an emergency, I'm able to do that. And
Mhm.
so I am standby for Latrice Royale, who is just a legendary drag queen, was on RuPaul's Drag Race,
Mhm.
just is incredible. It's been a joy watching her work on stage. And this time I just get to sit back and watch it unfold before me. The costume design is
Well,
beautiful.
every place
It's
you played, even Arkansas, those costumes were fantastic. Let's give props out to these community theater, these local theaters, these regional theaters that spare no expense at the beauty of the whole production value. Everything I've seen you in, the snippets and clips. And by the way, I'm going to have a clip of Diva singing that beautiful song that moved me so much at the bottom of this interview. When you come to watch this interview, make sure you take a minute to go take a look at it. And learn all
yeah,
things about this beautiful, beautiful person that is called Diva LaMarr. Thank
yes.
you
I
so
wish.
much. I'm sorry,
Oh,
let me
it's
let you finish. You have the last word. Go ahead.
well. I just wanted to say I wish that people would have these visions and do them in New York or Los
Wouldn't that
Angeles.
be nice? You